Oh, here we go. Okay. No,
Oh.
0000.
Shimmy.
Wing. Well, welcome to the 23rd of December 2019 edition, which is our third ever episode of Pease on a Pod. I'm Paul.
I'm Peter. Hello, Paul.
Hello, Peter. Fly away, Peter.
Fly away, fucking Paul.
Come back, Peter.
Oh, that's
Okay.
brilliant.
So
what have you been up to, mate?
Well, we're just talking to you for about 3 hours, but So we're constantly, every time we set up this stuff, which takes a whole bunch of stuff, because we're not doing it regularly yet. So we've got this stuff lying around our house, and we've got to put it all back together, and then find out the latest technology and ways to broadcast this stuff through OBS and Skype and NDI technology and stuff, and then try to get live streaming happening on YouTube so we can make thousands and thousands of dollars from talking. No. Anyway, there was different things we're just trying to figure out, but mostly we're trying to figure out what is the word for the hooved animal that goes moo in the field. I mean, you've seen them your whole life, right? But neither Peter nor I can agree on what this fucking animal is called. What says moo? And if you say cow, then isn't that just a female version of a lot of different types of mammal? Like a cow is a female elephant, a female whale, and a female moo creature.
I'm afraid it is.
Yes, it is. But how is that an animal of its own right? You're trying to say, so if you see a bull, a bull of the creature we're trying to figure out what the fuck it's called, right?
Yeah, it's the male cow, which is like the...
There's no male cow. Doesn't make sense. That's like saying a male you or a
cow
male
that's
female.
not female.
A male woman.
The other one.
Okay, I guess now I'm being politically incorrect by saying there's no such thing as a male woman.
That's why they got to section those bulls off into those little separate little pits. They're like all angry.
But it's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. I was saying, if you see like a herd of whatever these hooved creatures are that say moo.
Yeah, they're a herd. Yeah.
Of what?
Bunch of cattle.
Cattle. Okay. So can you say one cattle? There's a cattle. What is that animal? It's a cattle.
Not. Something.
There are two cattle.
A cattle is a diseased animal of some sort. That's what it sounds like.
But it doesn't mean it's disease.
It's got that cattle disease. It's full of cattle. It's like shingles, cattle.
See, I understand we can say there are two cattle, but why can't we say one cattle? It would be like one cat almost. I know it's bovine, but so is it buffalo and a yak and all these other things. That's just a sort of like genus, isn't it? And we've been trying to find
I think we pretty much just got like it's cows or bulls.
Okay, so we got pigs, sheep, and
what about buffalo? What about buffalo? Is buffalo considered
a female buffalo? Is going to be a cow, but not the male.
So is buffalo the equivalent of bull?
Then? No. Bull is just a male version of several types of mammal.
Is the name of the animal.
No, but that's not our animal that we're talking about. Have you ever heard a buffalo say moo?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Is that what they're?
More distinct.
They're lowing. I think they're lowing because in the Baby Jesus songs, isn't that dark? That sounds accurate. Yeah. But
buffalo encapsulates the male and the female of the buffalo.
Well, yeah, obviously, because we've got a name for that animal.
Cows and bulls doesn't. They're separate.
They're which you could be talking about a whale.
But then, see, in cows, we talk about species of cows. Like we talk about Herefords and Angus and Wagyu and
but
Brahms.
But they're like races like Golden Retriever or Negroid, human, Hispanic.
Yeah,
that kind of thing. Like, so what's the deal with?
But I didn't never hear that with buffaloes. I just hear about buffaloes.
Yeah, because we're so close.
Buffaloes.
We're so close. We're so close to cows in our lives.
Yeah, so we know that.
The dogs, right? We know lots of breeds or races of dogs.
I'm sure the buffaloes have just.
How many pig races though?
Oh, they are definitely pig races.
Name two.
Oh yeah. Berkshire pigs and fuck. I could name heaps of them, but I just...
It's not common.
Berkshire's the English one. That's like the one that... No, but I'm talking about the
Oink.
Australian ones. There's an Australian
Oink,
one.
governor.
Sherrod Sphere, fucking Sherrod Shmoon, Shmoo, Sherrod Shmoon, Shmoon.
All right. So there are different.
Kurabata. With a
Cured
K.
butter.
Kurabata.
All right.
With
So
a K.
okay,
And
we acknowledge these are.
Sherrod Sphere. There you go. There's your two.
And what's a male pig called?
Pig.
Oh, I know. A sow is a female pig.
Okay,
Right?
yeah, I've heard that before. Yeah.
Because there are sow stalls.
I'm not. I don't know. A male pig. I don't know.
Hog? A hog?
Is it called a boar? Because a boar is a
Boar.
wild one.
Yeah.
I know that.
I don't know.
Is that
We
the
didn't
same
learn
one?
our animals in primary school very well, did we?
No.
I'm gonna teach my nieces a little bit better about how animals.
They were called steaks.
Okay, and the animal we're trying to figure out the name of, would you say it's a
cow.
boss bovine kind of thing, or would you say it's a cattle?
Well, yeah. I mean, look, it's
a cattle.
It's
plural. Even Wikipedia says it's plural.
a herd of cows.
It's like saying a mob of kangaroos or a murder of crows. Murder of politicians.
a sog of politicians.
Speaking of politicians, now that we've failed to figure out what the fuck says moo, what do you feel about, like, a lot of people this week in particular in the news are talking about how our Prime Minister, Scott Morrison, went to Hawaii for a week.
He did.
Because it was his time to go on holiday, right? It just so happened that 3 million hectares of New South Wales are on fire. And other parts of the country as well. Australia, right? Yeah. So were you surrounded by smoke where you are in Adelaide?
Wasn't too bad here. Like we're right near the Australian Bight. The wind just pulls it straight out into the Antarctic. So we're fine.
But Port Augusta, which is just north of you, right?
Yeah.
49.9 degrees the other day, which I think is about 115 degrees Fahrenheit.
Don't know what that is. I don't care about Fahrenheit. That's ridiculous.
I know. That's a stupid.
I never know. Okay. I don't know why it still happens.
Let me ask you about this. We're just jumping between things. So the topic is about the Prime Minister. I was going to ask you why Fahrenheit is based on blood or whatever. Anyway.
I was going to start accusing you of pulling in Fahrenheit into our conversation.
I've had to start doing it.
Yeah, Scott Morrison, he would probably be into Fahrenheit.
So everybody has always complained about whatever Prime Minister's in power and forgotten to complain about the previous ones. Like, no, now we're focused on this Prime Minister. It's like, will it ever stop? I mean, he just went on a whole...
You know what I've realised? You know what it is about shitty Prime Ministers, Paulie? The thing is, when you're a shit Prime Minister, we need to complain about something because you haven't fucking done anything. So, right, the fires are here and you're not here. Yeah, you're shit, mate. You're shit. Right? If you were a commanding Prime Minister, there'd be no reason for any of us to walk around making up shitty excuses to call you a shit Prime Minister because that's what you fucking are.
No, but which Prime Minister did you like the best?
John Howard.
You liked him the best?
Only because of the folk tales.
Because of what?
The folk tales of when I was young. Well, just like bringing in the GST, you know, shoving it up the Australian. It's great. At least he did something.
So that made him very unpopular. He was hugely unpopular, and there was never an end to the complaining.
Everyone loved it, mate. It's kind of like butt sex, I heard.
It's almost like they're being whipped the whole time they're in power, and then they get a round of applause. Well, yep, good job. He's going to go down in history as making some good changes. Like,
at least they did.
I didn't hear a single compliment from you at all. Like Tony Abbott, right? That was just non-stop complaining, and Julia Gillard non-stop complaining. Yeah, and then even when the popular guy, what's his name, was temporarily in power,
Turnbull.
Yes.
I didn't mind him.
Yeah, he had good charisma. He would represent nicely, I reckon. But he was overthrown by his own party, right?
Yeah. And I think it's a structural reason, man. Like, because everyone who pops their little heads up on the party pedestal is going to be a little puppet, like, and
Well, we're not, we're
get
not,
a
we're
good.
not being bombed. We're not being bombed. Nobody's starving
No,
to death in Australia
no.
unless
Whoa,
they don't
whoa.
go into a bin. They don't know how to find a
I
rubbish
don't know,
bin
man.
and just eat food.
How many bombs do you reckon it would take to take out that kind of fire destruction that's happened in New South
Of
Wales?
oxygen and hydrogen next to each other, going boom and making water, boom.
Or maybe in smaller amounts, but on a series of thing, you're probably talking a massive napalm bombing anyway.
Well, yeah,
Like,
napalm version, but with hydrogen
there
and
wasn't
oxygen that
there wasn't a
bind to make
threat.
water.
Like, no one did it, but it just happened. That's just. But it was
Well,
the same
every year
result.
they call it
The same
bushfire
result.
season. They call it bushfire season.
No, but this was a particularly bad one. But I agree with you. I agree with you.
Every year, if it's going to happen
year,
every year,
every
and we
year
know,
summer happens. Every year summer happens.
well, no, let's not blame
First and
summer. Let's
foremost.
blame our lack of weather control because, obviously we've done very badly because, Christianity and stuff destroyed civilization for 1,000 years through the Middle Ages after
Yeah,
Rome had built aqueducts and all the other things, right? Sewage
yeah,
systems and proper infrastructure. And it was just
yeah.
going up and up and up and up and up. Obviously, there was a lot of death involved because the dumb people had to go, right? But
Yep.
then the dumb people said, no, 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 not science, God, right? And then everyone started being killed in reverse for being smart.
You
So
don't need
boom.
many of them to start the fucking snowflake fall. That's just ridiculous.
But anyway, there's almost I'm quite distraught about the fact that politicians get blamed for the lack of technology. That should be the only discussion we're having in terms of bushfires.
Yeah,
A
yeah.
little
No,
a little
good
truck
point.
going, "Eew, eew, eew," trying to get through
Yeah,
two-dimensional traffic on the surface. We've got
yeah,
planes. Why aren't they fire brigade helicopter, like a swarm of them?
yeah.
Like
Well, I mean, look, on a
waves. Like
So
doing
maybe
something better.
2 months ago when ScoMo was flooding the thoughts and prayers in to just keep himself in government,
Yeah.
maybe he wasn't thinking about the drones, but surely when the shit's going down, like, did Winston Churchill like fuck off for a holiday in World War Two? When the London bombing, did he go like, oh, fucking,
I
might
bet
just
he
go
was.
chill
I
back
bet he
in
was.
Cuba?
See, the thing is, I reckon he was probably insulted for a lot of things at the time that we're just not, in summary, finding out about. But if we were there, it'd be like, Churchill neglects to honour such and such
Yeah, sure, sure,
monarchy.
sure. Yeah, yeah,
Bullshit.
no, it's in the time past, yeah, that we don't know about. No, well, he never went on a fucking holiday, that's for sure.
But he
But yeah,
said definitely
and
unites the
war, you
country
can't
if
say
everyone's
war.
dying.
Well, I don't know, man. Like when there's like a percentage of the country going down in flames, man. It's not far off. It's not like people are bombing us and we need to watch out for people, but it's like a not far off war, man. Like,
Yeah, but that's a
look at
weird
the
thing, isn't it?
devastation.
When natural events cause damage instead of people cause damage, we can't blame the attackers, so we blame a politician. It's just weird. They're not really to blame for the
No,
fires.
no, of course they're not to blame for the fight. And
And going to
like, and
Hawaii for a week
if
is not
anyone
going to change
who
anything.
would. No, I don't know, man. You know what? Absolutely. You know what? And no, he's back and the fires aren't out. Ooh, big
Oh yeah.
surprise.
Oh my
Anyway,
God! Now
that
what are we
wasn't
going to
the
do? We
argument to
thought that
start
was the.
with.
What
It
was
was
it?
more of a leadership argument. It was like I don't
He
know,
doesn't
like
care.
when you're the leader of the country, like, fucking, you
Mm,
should be there for it. I know.
yeah.
That's more of that. And I know there's lots of things going on all the time. And if you thought of it like that, there'd be never time for a holiday. But
But the fires seem pretty severe news.
it's a pretty it wasn't just like last year's fires or the years
Mm,
before,
the biggest
like,
fire we've seen.
um, maybe
Three million
not
hectares out of
enough people
50
have
million.
died yet. Maybe, I don't know, maybe
Mm,
it's not as serious enough, but a fuckload of animals died,
yeah,
and
of course.
a fuckload of fucking area has just been burnt out. And I just see, I heard the fire chief of New South Wales the other day going like, "Where is Scott Morrison? I need to speak to him." When you hear the fire chief of New South Wales like asking those questions, I didn't hear him say it in person. I wasn't there for it, but it was in a news. It was in the news. So
Yeah,
I
that's
don't know.
bad press.
I have to believe that.
Okay.
And
All
like,
right.
why is the fire chief asking where the prime minister is? Does he
But this
need
will never be.
direction? Does he need direction? I don't know. I'm
This
sure.
will this will not even make a footnote in history that he went on holiday this time. Anyway, it's just
No,
news this week. It won't matter
yeah,
next week. Anyway,
yeah.
although it'll
No,
come
it
into
won't.
question
Well,
at
doesn't
election
matter.
time, it might come into question.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
But anyway, it's so minor. Like, it's not like we're being bombed or anything. But what do you feel about this whole when there's a war, you can definitely blame your enemy for bombing you, right, and killing you and your family.
Especially in hindsight. Yeah.
But a fire or wind or tsunami, what are you gonna fucking do? Earthquake. You can't blame anyone, right? It's like, oh,
No.
they should have given us better fucking warnings to evacuate. Like, it's always got to be a person. It seems so primitive. These little fucking monkeys running around going, oh, who do I blame? I stubbed my
It
throat.
is. We are little monkeys, man, and it is. But there are certain things I think we can. No, man. Okay. Well, we're going directly into the climate change argument right here.
No,
Like,
yeah, that's right. But the thing is, even if humans didn't create pollution, I reckon there'd still be chiefs or whatever tribal system we had going. You didn't do the rain dance, or you didn't make so and so do the rain dance. We're going to string you up by the neck or put you in the boiling
but
water.
we do have science. We do have science now, and that like shows us like we've got logs, man. Of, like,
it shows us
change.
that a prime minister leaving the country isn't to blame. Like a spiritual fucking leader.
But it's not about the fire.
I know,
but
but still,
fire. It's about the leadership of your country.
I know, but the thing is, but there's so much discussion going into the leadership of the country if the issue really is that people care about things burning, surely the conversation has to be about technology.
I haven't heard that guy speak. Like okay. I'm just a normal Australian guy, right? I fucking work a little bit a week, probably not as hard as ScoMo does. Don't go on as many holidays as he does, but he probably deserves it way more. But anyway, when there's a fucking emergency at my work, I'll fucking go to fucking work.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
I get the point, but it just doesn't seem like it's worth the amount of conversation that I see on social media, for example.
Yeah, it's because his
absence should be the thing.
It's okay. All right. You know what I reckon? Okay, for me, my feeling is it's because he hasn't done. There seems to be nothing proactive about this guy. Like the biggest thing on his agenda every day is going to fucking church on Sunday.
Yeah.
Right. Like that. That's what it seems like. Right.
Yeah.
Go and sing a few songs and then rock up to work on Monday.
I'm just a little bit concerned with humanity in general about where our focus lies. We want problems to be solved in the world to make everything more luxurious for our fucking little monkey assholes, right? We want to be able to just go around going la la la, summertime. Things don't burn anymore, and like in the old days.
So
we're not having a party going, yeah, AIDS is mostly finished. I haven't seen. I heard AIDS, big tragedy. Let's watch out for AIDS. AIDS is a big AIDS, right? Problem in the world. But there was never a time when everyone going,
the dick bum.
Hey, everyone, let's have a news article about how AIDS has massively improved, like the quality of life. People aren't seeing HIV as a death sentence anymore. It's technologies. So there was never a time when we stopped and went, let's have we've got much better technology now party, because people have just now invested billions of dollars into it, right? I just don't see those pauses and saying, yay, cholera outbreaks aren't as common in Australia anymore, or yay, we've invented the sewage system. There's no big stopping.
I mean, look, there's new challenges like measles.
I know, but in 1901, well, let's say 1919, 100 years ago, because it's, by the way, it's the 23rd of December. About to hit the next
was a genuine problem. Yeah.
The next decade. But no, people had a death rate. The average age of life expectancy was about 41. Now it's about 83.
Yeah.
Well done, humanity.
Yeah.
Well
it's all
fucking done.
Out. Yeah. Heaps of early childbirth.
But we don't have that problem anymore. It's not like somebody's going and saying, okay, did you expect your child to die today? No, I thought it would fucking survive.
Yeah.
Well, and it did, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, of course it did. It's like, not of course. You're not something to appreciate.
With my inner tube.
You're getting really choppy with this resolution now on your end. Because my internet maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, right.
Am I clear visually to you?
You're fairly clear, yeah.
Because your voice is getting all metallic and stuff as well.
Yeah,
so okay.
What fairly clear.
What do you think the focus of humanity should be? Talking about politics seems to be, after you hit a certain age, that's what everyone talks about, and it seems like a big fucking waste of time. Technology is where it's at.
Well, of course, but he's the guy in charge of putting Australia's money into the technology. And if he's
What do
putting
you
it
mean
into
Australia's money?
churches rather than drones, well, he's in charge of the party that
Okay, so humans aren't going to go to any
fiscally
effort
responsible.
unless the tax money goes to funding these things. Why can't
Well,
people just get off their asses and go and
it's an
fix it?
incremental thing, isn't it? It's incremental. You can't just fix it. But
Okay.
you have to have a start somewhere. And if your prerogative is going to church and not giving a fuck, like thinking that, oh, none of that shit affects me, like we haven't had any effect on this, so why even try to bother about changing shit?
Well, we've had bushfires for so long, every single fucking year.
It's not.
Okay, and now you're still speaking about the current prime minister.
Like, it's
not relevant. The current prime minister of any time in history is almost irrelevant to the fact that we have not got the technology. Like, what you would talk about is the history of fire brigade technology. That's the conversation. Politics doesn't even come into it.
That's what we've got. That's what we've got. But if we continue with the politics we have, then the money's never going to go into science.
But there's no country in the world. There's no country in the world that's doing it. No country in the world has solved.
Well, we're fucking doomed. We're fucking doomed. We're doomed. Well, it's not doomed. It's not just bushfires. Bushfires might just be like one day they might find out a fucking mad nitrous fucking way to suppress fucking fire. I don't know, but it's not within our capability now, and it doesn't require fucking ding dong ScoMo to be here. I'm not saying that his presence is necessary, but I'm saying as a leader of the country, don't fucking be here in a national emergency, because it's a national emergency.
Okay. I agree with this minor issue.
It's more intense than it was last year. Yeah. Oh, man. Well, I don't know, man. There's like 2 volunteer firefighters that died within the last 24 hours, right? And I don't know what the fuck they're. I don't want to lynch him. I just want him to be here to console the families. He should be at their fucking house, mate. He should be at that guy's fucking house, knocking on the door, going, "Thank you for your fucking effort." And that's all it is.
We thank you for your husband's. We thank you for your husband's effort. But hey,
25
people died last year, and 300 people died the year before. So we got off pretty good, eh?
Yeah.
Go Australia. We're improving.
Bro. Yeah.
Less
Okay.
deaths.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. It is less deaths. It is less deaths. But
it's weird. I just don't think we're focusing ever on the right stuff. And the problem is, I don't know who's in charge of the world. Who are we following?
No one's in charge of the world.
Like, I don't ever think for a second.
Every country has its in chargeness.
But
every country has its in chargeness. Of course it does.
Do you look at some grown-ups now that you're older, and you can see that adults aren't fully competent, like you thought when you were a kid? It's like, I'll just leave myself in the hands of an adult. They're grown-ups. They know what they're doing.
Every country's got their own charges, man. And no. And Australia's got, we're a huge country. We're so diverse with our the people we have here, and we've proven it. We've got a massive, awesome, sporting, medical, all that shit, man. Across the board, some great Australians have come out of a small population, and we've used all this coal to earn heaps of money. Fucking use it for something good, man. I don't know.
Look at Elon Musk, for example.
I know I'm just talking shit about. Yeah. Okay.
He has ideas. He's got the money to do it, right? But there are people who've got less money but skills in certain things, but they're not doing stuff.
Well, yeah. Well, hopefully the people that Elon Musk hires.
No, I know, but he didn't need somebody to hold his hand and show him how things get done. He thought in his mind, I wish there was a spaceship.
He's not a technical
I'm going to have one built.
He's an incredibly smart dude. I love that guy, right? And he's got great ideas, but he doesn't know the technical stuff behind. He hires people to do the technical stuff for him.
Yeah, I understand.
Which is the way you should do it.
There are certain people who pioneer things and get things done of their own volition, right? Their own volition.
Sure.
This goes hand in hand with
He
thinking
was
for
a rich
yourself.
kid, man. The guy was a billion. The guy was born a billionaire, man. The guy's
No.
lost more
He
money
started
than he's
PayPal.
made. Didn't?
Okay,
But wasn't he from like a massively rich? Like he was born into heaps of money.
I don't know if it was heaps. It wasn't like the
He
sort of money
grew
he
up.
made through PayPal was crazy.
Well, yeah. But I think he's always had crazy money. So, yeah. Just to be able to set up something like
Dad, can I
PayPal.
borrow $1 million?
Oh,
Everyone
how much
started
would it cost? How much would it cost to set up PayPal?
Well, I reckon.
For
I think he was a coder. So basically, a coder is somebody who's basically a book writer. See, writers are the gods of our society, especially if they're not just covering known events. They're pulling things out of their imagination and putting it down in words that didn't previously exist. This is a new idea that I have not read somewhere else. I'm now deciding. It's like when we, brainstorm and we think of an original idea that nobody's ever told us before. Because we've gone, this plus this would work better than that. And then if we added a bit of this as well, and that would be fucking solving the whole problem and be better than anything. And also solve this, and this. Because I think most solutions, if they're any good, would solve a million problems, not one. It's almost like a waste of time to putting energy into a solution that's only going to solve one problem. Is there something you do in the kitchen when cooking that sort of solves a heap of problems all at once that nobody ever taught you how to do?
Machinery.
Like what?
Like, well, stoves, mixers.
Okay, but you wouldn't want to get rid of the
ovens.
chefs, right? You could get rid of the chefs if you were talking about machinery.
No, they got to use them.
Would you need a chef?
But a chef to use no, it just exemplifies the. You still need to know what you're doing. You're just doing it on a bigger basis.
But if somebody wanted to
instead
plate
of me
of
having to
food,
use a whisk.
but it's really the truck drivers, but that won't be needed soon, right? Who have brought in the supplies for this kitchen, which has a mixture of machines and humans to prepare food as required. The refrigerator is using its technology to keep things fresh until needed. The stove is cooking it to a temperature that the humans want. It's being sliced and presented on a plate the way the people want.
Yeah,
but if you programmed it
just within that one,
So if you programmed something once, this is the best way I've ever made this meal before. I wish every single time I made this meal, it came out exactly like this plate. Right?
Mm-hmm.
You could teach these mechanical arms to do that, and then from that point onwards, it would always do it the same.
Yeah. To a point for sure. And like the more technological, the better it would get. But like, there's a lot of human touch. Like even just storing food in a cool room, like stuff needs to be wrapped
from the back of the truck.
Stored separately. Yeah.
Imagine if the back of the truck detached, right, and that just clicked into the side of the building.
I'm sure future technology would be able to pretty much anything. Yeah. Except for like, there's always anomalies, like when you're cooking stuff in a fry pan. But I don't know if you're a AI doing it, maybe they wouldn't have wouldn't have the same problems.
The big questions coming up with robotics and programming in everything in everyday life.
To be agile, they just need to be agile enough to do it. And once they get that agility. With your robot, you were talking about the rotation of the arms and stuff, but the agility of a robot to sort of do circles and then mini circles and small ones and and on recognition, that would be difficult. I think very difficult.
Well, think about how parts are made for cars and stuff. They're just machines designed specifically to do each thing. I just don't see much. I just don't see much need for humans to create luxury for humans. Well, and if we've got an abundant supply of solar energy, those things will not run out of power.
Yeah.
So if those things could even do their own farming, transport whatever they've farmed to a place where it's prepared.
Yeah. See, I think
and why does it even get transported?
Same kind of thing like cooking. Yeah.
And why do people go to restaurants? Let me ask you that. Why do people go to a restaurant? There's no entertainment there. Is it so you get a
No, they
feeling
couldn't be
being
bothered
around
cooking.
other humans? No, but you sit at a table where you're forced to behave yourself with a knife and fork.
Combination of yeah.
Why aren't they sitting in a floating lilo, the shape of a donut, watching Star Wars on a big screen in a warm swimming pool and having food fed to them by a mechanical arm?
I
Like,
would
why would
take
they
that
want to
option every
sit at
time, except for the food, except for being fed with the mechanical arm. I would take all the other options.
Like, it's just restaurants generally do not even have a stage with live performances, or the best you ever get is like light background music or a
the
violin.
stages of the food, man. The stages of food. It means that, like, okay, so a group of 4 people can go in and have 4 different dishes. Each dish has got 6 different ingredients in it. You know, like, so there's like 40 odd ingredients going within the 4 people, possibly. You know, eating in one point, which is like near impossible to do at the same price or at the same leisure to buy
my
all those
question
ingredients.
is about
go
restaurant
home.
going. I
You'd
think
never do that.
you're tainted because you're a chef. I don't think people go to restaurants because the food is better than they get at home, or they can't be bothered. I think they go because they want to socialize.
And it's social.
Because social.
Yeah, it's
You don't get many
social,
people
it's
going
different.
into a restaurant, an expensive restaurant especially, and just cracking open a bottle of wine and sitting there and just reading the newspaper by themselves. How often do you see that? Or is someone just sitting there with an iPhone?
Not often.
People go there with each other.
I don't know.
It's an event, isn't it? So that's the
Sure.
only thing left for humanity.
But the food,
that we
but
want
it's
to do,
based
hang
around
out
the
with
food.
each
Like,
other.
it's going there to enjoy it. Yeah, it's going around to enjoy it. Doesn't necessarily need to have a live show like the restaurant. Like, you go there for a food. Like,
No, but you
what
go there
places
for the
are
people at the
popular.
table with you, the people you want to socialize with.
Oh, of course. Yeah,
If there was, if there were board games and snacks,
I'm tainted as a chef because I go to restaurants. I detest sitting in restaurants.
why?
I absolutely detest it.
Why?
I don't know. Just been in restaurants for fucking 20 years. I hate it.
And what about going to a bar? Is that better? So you can move around or whatever?
I like
Or is that
that.
boring? That's
Not
better.
drinking. Yeah. No, I prefer to go to a bar. Yeah, I can. I like going to bars. Yeah.
Let me ask you this:
And I can eat
there's
at bars. I hate.
yeah, bistro. But if you went to a bar and there was a big line, a big crowd, and people don't know how to line up properly, and the girls with big tits get served first, and they push in front of you, and all that sort of stuff, and you're waiting for 15 minutes, and you've got to buy a round of drinks and carry them back awkwardly to the table because you're a shout.
Yeah, that
would you be just as happy going to a vending machine and getting out those drinks rather than a human serving you?
Oh,
instant, never will line
big time, big time.
Or the table itself is a vending machine.
Yep, I've seen, maybe not fully vending machine, but there's this awesome place in Thailand where you get like these 3-liter jugs that they whack on the end of the table, and you just never need to leave the table.
And what do you think about table service coming up through the table?
No, it's RSA in Australia anyway.
No, I'm talking about like food in a restaurant, like a waiter. Like, get rid of waiters and just straight from the kitchen. You guys are slaving away in the hot kitchen, and then boom.
Well, that's why
I press
why
a button or whatever on my menu.
As far as I'm concerned, that's why you go to a restaurant. I don't need to talk to someone, so yeah, I'd be happy to do that. Yeah.
Not have a waiter.
I mean, you kind of do that with Uber. You I'd be happy not to have a waiter, and you kind of order like that on Uber. Like, I order Uber to come to my house, and I basically bring up and pick my thing, and then 25 to 45 minutes later, the food comes to my front door.
Is there anything social?
Fantastic.
Is there anything that's been replaced by automation where you miss the interactivity with a shopkeeper of any kind or a person?
Not for me. But I've been in the industry, so I don't know about other people, but happy to do that every time.
What about conductors on a train or bus? We used to have tram conductors.
Don't care about them.
No, but the other thing is the bus driver. They didn't used to be behind a plastic seal. You just said thank you, right? Everyone said thank you to the bus driver.
Yeah.
And then it started being, no, do not speak to the bus driver, right? And then lock them out. And just
Busy.
change that whole.
Busy.
So population is the big problem.
I guess population and shitty people having shitty accidents. You know, every time there's an accident, some fucking law's got to change because someone retardedly ran over the tracks or fucking drove too fast and ran into a fucking pole or fucking.
Well, this is all going to go away. Everything's going to go away in terms of human-controlled things. Even chefs probably, and I mean, even artwork from robots will be a million times better than any human can make.
Poetry, music.
They'll write better poems.
Absolutely.
These are the best words in conjunction with each other for this
mood. Yeah, these are the best words.
This will force the serotonin to be released on line 4. The dopamine will kick in here. The sentimentality that's personalized for this person's memories will be maximized here on line 5. And this is the perfect length for the poem for that person to feel correct.
Okay.
I'll write another poem 5 seconds later, which will suit the mood that they have 5 seconds later.
As long as if we're all chilling back drinking whiskey while this is happening, I'm all happy with that.
I've always wondered what we're doing here. Like, what the fuck are we doing here? A lot of people in their lives are just giving themselves a list of chores and fucking going out and doing those chores.
Yeah, well, that's you got to earn enough money to do what you want.
But imagine you don't have to work little time. There are a lot of things you can do without money. There are heaps of things you can do without money. If you want to live on baked beans for 89 cents a can, right, and some cheap white bread, that'll get you going for a few months, right? Water.
Yeah, sure.
And so shelter, what do? You just go and sleep in a tent in the forest. You don't need that much stuff, right? And people want to stand on the fucking treadmill and not get shit done. Or they have, even if you have an ambition, what's it for? It's just so you can pass the time, so you can ignore reality, because we don't even know what we're doing here.
That is what reality is.
But what do you feel like we should be doing? Like, even if you don't know what reality is, the backstory of it, or what's happening, or what the gods are doing with this fucking petri dish and their little fucking syringes and shit.
Yeah.
What would you prefer to do with your time? Would you prefer to not have to worry about money for a start? Like, not ever have to worry about it?
Oh, absolutely.
Would you be happy with a replicator like in Star Trek? Just go to the wall and ask it for a glass of lemonade. It goes, bing, there you go. Or it just comes into your hand.
Absolutely. Fucking A.
Okay, well, in that case, would you be happy then to be a virtual
reality? If I've got to walk a few steps, then I'll turn it.
Okay, but imagine this then.
Yeah,
you could be God mode. You could plug yourself into a machine, and you don't even have flesh anymore.
Yeah.
And you just imagine anything you want, and it's heaven. Like your serotonin levels, wish they were 1,000,000%. Oh, I'm so happy, right?
Yeah.
I wish I could fly. I wish I had wings. Bing, got wings. You could totally do that with virtual reality and with plugging it into your mind. Would you be happy to transfer get rid of your human body, or put it to sleep in some incubation chamber and have it plugged into the machine where you're going to remain healthy enough to live, and even after you die, it'll probably just transfer your mind into a machine anyway, so you'll be a microchip. Yeah. And so you can have whatever you want, whenever you want.
It'd become personal, you know, like if I was going to do something like that, I'd want to go in with my family, and I'd want to go in, at least my wife.
Does she have to be real? Can she just be a replication?
For a month? Well, no, we can go in and both be a replication.
Fly around
what am I going to do? I do that and leave her here.
Well, I mean, you can have 10 of her. You can have 10 of her. Click your fingers, boom, there's 10 of her.
Yeah, but that's when you're in there. But you need to be. I don't know. Yeah.
Why would you leave?
Yeah, I get you. I don't know.
So I don't understand life. I just do not understand. What do we want? Do we want to be struggling?
Who does? I don't know who does understand.
But this brings back to the question of what are we complaining about when we talk about whatever's happening in the news this week, and we've got a list of complaints we need to make. And then we've got to compare it.
That's the job he's got to do.
Children in Africa.
That's the job he's got to do, and if he doesn't do it, you complain about it.
I know, but there's so much bullshit happening. It's a waste of our time. I feel like I wish I had spent my life doing this.
Next, please.
And people complain about death.
I don't care about it apart from that.
People complain about death of loved ones and stuff. Like, what are you going to do about it? If people were immortal and all your family friends never died, okay,
Yeah.
there's another
Oh,
problem
well, fuck,
solved.
mate. If what you're saying, mate, it'll just be survival of the fittest. I can walk out and walk down the street and cave in the heads of probably about 80% of the people in this street.
Not if they're a virtual reality program, because your impact will be zero.
But in like real life, I can just go and do that.
Yeah, in real life you can, because
Yeah.
this is real life.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
what is the point of it? Killing, living, surviving. It just,
Yeah.
it
I don't
just,
know.
it's
I
just a
enjoy
bunch
it.
of
When it's good,
chores.
it's good, man. When it's good, it's good. I enjoy it.
But is ignorance better? I mean, you used to be
Maybe.
Catholic.
Maybe
You
I'm
used,
ignorant.
no, but you used to be Catholic, right? When you knew there was a
Forcibly.
God.
Forcibly.
Yeah, but did you ever think God loves me? He's watching
I,
over us.
I never had any reason not to think that.
And your
But now
ancestors,
I do.
your dead ancestors. Yeah, I know, but you at that
I
time,
learned all the songs. I learned all the
yeah, that's
songs.
right. And when you didn't you feel more comforted thinking that there was a bigger plan and after death there was more and that
Absolutely not.
you
Absolutely
didn't
not.
feel more
I
comforted?
feel comfort in the fact that I will be stardust in the near future.
You're stardust now.
Well, yeah, but a higher form of it. But I'll just
Higher.
go,
An unconscious piece of shit that doesn't do anything. You'll just be
well,
compost.
no. I'm conscious of what the universe has to offer. I can see through the technology in my brethren what at least just the situation I'm in now. And fuck it. That's all right.
But you can't really.
Why
Because there's
not?
something instead of nothing. And that question hasn't been answered even one iota.
Yeah,
Even
I
if
don't
you
care about that
explain,
answer. You know what, man?
you
I'm
don't
gonna go to
care.
bed tonight. I'm gonna turn on the no, you know what? I'm gonna turn on the air conditioner and it's gonna affect the room that I'm in and make me put a blanket on. All right. Then I'm gonna wake up in the morning from my alarm clock. It's gonna go off at about 9:30. No, 8:30, sorry. 8:30 tomorrow. And I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna be fully aware of that fact.
Yeah.
Right? There's nothing to do with, I don't know, the computer realm or the turtle head realm.
Oh, no, I'm talking about beyond even this planet and outside this universe and stuff.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
that's not where we are. We're here.
we are though.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
actually are in this
But maybe
universe,
in a billion
which
years'
popped
time, we
into
might
existence.
be in the other place. But as a piece of dust, or in several pieces, or a million pieces,
But
I don't know.
what if your entire objective in this world and you have to keep living over and over again until you figure this out, right? And you could do it this time around and win the game.
We've only got one life, mate.
No, you don't
It's
know.
fun.
You don't know. You don't know.
Okay. But
So
when I'm
basically,
not, I'm not aware of the previous
it's more
ones.
likely.
Are
No, no,
we like the
no.
first
I
ones?
understand. I think it's the most likely scenario is that you're God and none of this exists, and it's just your brain in the blackness of infinity just going, oh no, 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 no. Thank fuck I forgot reality because I was so fucking lonely and bored in the blackness of infinity with nothing. So I'm so glad I went insane, right? So if we unravel the truth so much that we go, oh, we now remember we are God and we're in a fucking cage in blackness where we've lived for trillions and trillions of years with nobody to talk to,
For real?
right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because that would be a good reason to either one deliberately create the universe or b accidentally just go fucking crazy and go, oh, I wish there were like trees growing there that. Oh wait, no, snails are going to eat me. I need thorns.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Well, three, it proves an amazing mind then, because like touch, feel, like even all the injuries I've sustained, I can feel it through this
oh yeah,
absent reality.
you would invent
So
that. Like when you dream, you
yeah,
can feel as well, right?
I don't dream much because I smoke bongs.
So that makes you not dream.
Yeah, not much.
Really? I didn't know that
Yeah.
affected me.
Mm, mm.
Apparently, in dreams, you're slow, right? So when you go to punch somebody in a
I
dream,
do have
you go,
those.
oh shit, you got a
I,
weak punch, can't run away
yeah,
from somebody properly because you're so slow.
yeah, I
Apparently,
don't have that.
dreams
Yeah,
are
yeah, I do have
slow.
the running dream. I do have. I fully remember a frustration in my dream where I can't run properly. It's like my arms or my legs don't work
Yeah,
properly, but they're like
so you're really
trying
slow.
to, but they're like they're
Apparently,
glued.
what
Yeah,
seems like a 5 minute snippet in your dream takes about 2 hours to dream.
Oh, okay.
because
Yeah, right. I
everything's
thought it was
super
the
slow
opposite.
motion. I thought it was the opposite too because you snip
Yeah.
between things all the time like that, right?
Yeah, I thought it was the
It's
opposite.
crunched in.
Yeah,
But
right.
apparently it's really slow, and because there are people who've got the ability to what's it called when you're awake during your dream? You know you're dreaming.
Oh, yeah. Psycho paralysis or something.
No,
Fuck.
it's something. It's called something dreaming.
Oh. What, when
Some
you,
people.
like, your eyes are open, but you're
No, no,
dreaming?
you're dreaming, but you're aware that you're dreaming, so you can
Oh,
control your dreams.
yeah,
There are
yeah, yeah.
people who can do that really well, and you can
Yeah,
train
I
yourself
know.
to do it
Yeah,
better,
apparently you can. Yeah, I've heard of this. Yeah, yeah. I can't remember what
right?
it's
And,
called.
and so during those times, and also another good
Yeah,
way to test if you're dreaming, if you think, shit, this doesn't seem like it's real world, I'm gonna test if I'm dreaming. Go
yeah.
and try to switch a light switch on and off in the
Oh,
dream,
yeah,
and it doesn't
yeah.
work.
I also heard look at your watch.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I heard that was a good one.
Okay. Sometimes I
But
try to
maybe that was
read
better back in
signs
the
and
day
stuff.
when people
They
had
don't work well.
watches. Yeah, because it'll never say the right time.
Okay. And it won't have the numbers written correctly on the
But
front.
but for us, you might not have a watch if you looked at it because we got iPhones. So pull out your iPhone
Yeah, play your
and have a look at
iPhone.
the time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And also scroll through and try to read an article and
it's
see
the
if the words
equivalent. Yeah,
appear
yeah,
fast
yeah,
enough
something
for your
like that.
brain to
Yeah, yeah.
concentrate.
Or look for a date. Look for a date or a temperature or a time, like something like metric, and
So
it would never happen. Yeah,
do you find that when you're really tired, you can
yeah,
hear conversations really well, like imagine things much better? Like if you were sort of half awake, you're like amazed that your brain can go such and such a voice, like somebody you can hear their voice 100% clearly, like it's right there. But you're inventing the words that they're saying.
yeah, possibly. Yeah, yeah,
Your
yeah.
brain, they're not there to say them. So your
Yeah.
brain is just giving them a full conversation.
And
Peter, I want you on
interpreting.
Tuesday. You want to do this and blah 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 blah, blah
Yeah,
and pick up
for
such and
sure.
such. Pick up
Yeah,
around the corner.
I'm sure that's happened to me. Oh, because I've had some very spaced out moments. So yeah,
Well, they're amazing, aren't they? Like, and
yeah,
especially if you take something like LSD, it's like, how did
mm,
my brain do this? And how are all these geometric shapes going to the horizon?
yeah,
Am I a
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
robot? It really makes you question reality when you start taking some hallucinogens, especially
Mm,
LSD, which
I've
makes
done
you
a
see
couple of
these
good ones. Yeah,
amazing fucking visuals, which are just beyond your imagination. You see colors you've never seen, metallic versions of
mm.
purple and neon fucking colors.
For me, it was DMT.
Yeah. So what did you see?
Oh, heck, heaps of shit. It was hectic. I
Say
smoked it.
something. What's the amazing thing you saw?
Oh, my own death.
Say it.
Oh, I had a hectic experience, man. Like, a mate of mine got it. GG, and um, we were like smoking it, like just sprinkle a little bit with some bong, and we smoked it, and you get a bit high. Whoa, it was strong. Whoa. Anyway, I like all the boys were over, and I was like passed out on the lounge. Had had the main seat in the middle. Woke up while people were watching TV. Got handed a bong. It got heaps of that DMT sprinkled on it. I had a bong, and I fucking flipped it. Absolutely flipped it, and just yeah. All I remember was about apparently it was about 10 minutes. I can't remember the timing, but I flipped out. I sort of like I like had a, I don't believe in that shit, but I had an out of body experience. I saw myself on the couch all fucking KO'd. And the colors, man, like you said, the colors. Oh my god. Haven't seen the colors ever since, ever before. Just crazy. The shapes in the shapes, on the top of the shapes next to it. Like all of that. Just all
And the
of it.
way they repeat as well in a
Yeah,
grid.
yeah. Just yeah, yeah. And that
How does
reminds
my brain make such a neat grid? I couldn't even
mm,
draw with my hand. I couldn't draw that.
no,
My brain's
no,
going
no.
to the horizon.
Yeah.
It's
Oof.
amazing.
There it is. That's what you
So what
need.
is the death?
Yeah.
What did you feel emotional about that death?
Oh yeah. It was I curled up that night and shivered myself to sleep.
With realization about your
Yeah.
um, mortality.
I didn't touch a drug apart from weed. I didn't touch a drug for years after that. You just cut out. What happened then?
Did I? I can still see you.
Oh, hang on, it might have just been maybe the screensaver.
Can you see me? You've frozen. Hello? Oh, really? Oh, yeah, okay. And yeah, okay. 1 second in. Can you see me now?
Yeah, I can see you now. Yeah.
All right, so we just had to stop and fix up Skype. So you look much clearer, by the way, as well. Now that's
lovely.
Before it was just totally blurry. So if you're an old man and you're looking back at your life, don't you think you'd have some sort of understanding of what you wish had happened? Or do you think of all old men are just as dumb as fucking teenagers?
I think there's a bit of both, but there's a lot that can't change. I mean, obviously the bushfires, you can't just change it, but there's
What they wish they had have spent their life doing, I mean.
Yeah. Well, of course, man.
What do you
most
think?
people.
Can you look back now on your life so far and go, I wish I had have lived my life this way instead?
Uh,
Or are you happy with the
I look
journey?
back. I'm happy with where I am, but I can look back and say, oh, there was maybe some options I could have gone this way or that way. But you never know.
But your options
But
right now are you could go and rob a bank and become a billionaire or whatever else potentially
yeah,
and risk these things, or you could travel the world all the time, or you could go and sail a boat through
sure.
into the middle of the
Yeah,
ocean and
yeah, yeah,
see if you make it. Just take a bottle of
yeah,
water and a packet of biscuits
yeah.
and go on
Definitely
one of
still
those
got
kind
that
of
option.
survival
Yeah,
things.
I don't know. The older you get, though, the more I want to sort of bring it
Relax.
all back in. And having insurance is nice. And living in a country that has free healthcare is nice.
But don't you
Um,
wish you had to struggle for survival? So you'd have a
I wish
story?
that I had little stints of it. I don't want to prepare for them. I don't want to be like, okay, next weekend you fucking up for survival training. I'll be like, oh shit.
No, not survival
But
training,
it'd
just in a
you,
dangerous situation where you're being
Guess
hunted.
what I'm saying? Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, but I don't want to know about it. It'd be nice if it just happened, maybe, and then you have the experience, and then you come out of it. But it'd be a shit experience.
No,
Um,
don't they become good that you got through it and you feel a sense of achievement, sort of thing? Like that would have made a good movie. Imagine just
or
sitting there, just reading a
PTSD.
book.
You get one of the two. Yeah, you don't want to get scared
Yeah,
too much.
yeah, that's true.
Like,
Yeah,
because there's
soldiers
people,
don't have good memories, do they?
that's right. Yeah, like we
That would
know,
have
like
made a good movie.
there's a fair bit of science goes around that when people are subject to extreme experience, then it's not that good.
But most
But I
animals
don't know
are
if you.
anyway. Most animals are running for their lives all the time.
Yeah, well,
So
that's why
they're
when
not
you run
complaining about
outside
it.
and there's animals there, they run the fuck away from you.
But there are animals who have survived through all that hardship, and they're not just going, I've got sad memories in my dreams, right?
Yeah,
I'm
they're
not,
not.
I'm not
Yeah,
making light of PTSD, but in the broad spectrum of the history of millions of years on Earth, right? Other
yeah.
animals are like cool with it.
Yeah,
Well, they're not cool with it. They've got no option, but
they're not. We don't
they
know. We
don't
haven't
have
spoken
time to
to them.
stop
Yeah,
and go, oh, I'm going to sit here and cry while the fox
yeah.
continues to hunt me because I wish life wasn't like this, right?
That's right.
They
Yeah.
run
Show
or they
dead.
fucking dig
Yeah,
or they do something.
yeah. No, for sure, for sure.
The thing is, if you're going through some serious shit in your life, like in some terrible war-torn country with starvation going on around you and AIDS, you know,
Yeah,
then
I just
the
lost you.
next,
Yeah,
yeah, me too. But the next thing you have to worry about could be, men with machine guns are running down your street,
yeah. That's not cool
killing
either.
every, and you're hearing fire going like all everywhere, people
Yeah,
screaming. But that's just Tuesday.
that's Tuesday. Yeah. Hang out for Wednesday. Yeah.
So in life in general, you don't you say, would you say that people who've just had a very easy going life, just plowing the fields or fucking watching TV on a couch and maybe once occasionally going down the street and going on a holiday for 4 weeks a year during their careers because they've decided I want to live a generic lifestyle based on the lifestyle that everyone else in my era, my generation experiences.
Yeah. Well, every era and every generation will have a different version of that. But
But
yeah,
don't you want to
mate,
break free
yeah.
from that? Don't you want to be like, I didn't copy people. I was
Well,
different.
no, because why don't you think of it in terms of like that you're in a position of human evolution? I mean, you've got no control. You just live one life,
Well, you
but
do have control in a
it's
way. Just
taken.
run away or change it.
Okay, yeah, and we've seen all the movies about that. What happens? But like you live the time that you are blessed to live in. And I don't want to say the word blessed in a religious way
I
because
understand. Yeah, you're lucky.
yeah, right. So, no, no. Well, lucky or not lucky, whatever. This is the time that we live in. It wasn't 500 years ago. It was not 500 years in the future. It's right now,
Mm.
and so we are logged in to this anywhere between I don't know. I'm almost 40. You're over 40. Anywhere between 40 and say I don't know 90 years if we're lucky. I don't want to live that long. It's hectic.
But things will
But
get better. You'll be like injected with something, make you 21 again.
that's never going to happen, man. Not in our lifetimes. I don't
But
want to be
will we
shitting in a.
transfer it? What? Okay, what about transferal? Freezing your brain because they're predicting. Like, say you're going to die in 2056 or something, right?
Yeah,
Just say 10 years later, they're predicting the technology to totally transfer the data from a human brain into a chip is going to be
yeah.
complete, and everyone will be immortal except for the people who die now. But we've
Okay.
got perfect freezing brain technology.
Sure. Maybe.
Would
Sure. But
you
anyway,
would you
okay.
say,
Whatever.
yeah, freeze it and let
I
me?
don't know. I don't know. Oh,
Would you
yeah.
say, no,
You know
no,
what?
you
I'd
die?
probably. Well, it'd probably cost a whole bunch of money, and
Money
if
doesn't
the
matter then.
technology, if the technology isn't, well, it does matter if you don't have it.
Well,
That's for
imagine it
sure.
that money's become, it's all about energy consumption, and now we've got solar, free energy, and the
Well, look
robots
at
are
Matt.
run by solar and electricity.
But there's cryogenic happening right now. People pay for that shit right now. So
Yeah,
how can you say that that's not an option? That it's too expensive? Because like it is too expensive, or you're psycho or stupid. I don't know. One of the
could
three,
work. They could be the only people alive in the future, and they could fully restore any damage, brain
possibly.
damage that happens, and they just
But
get to
I
experience
don't
life
think
in the
we have
future.
a good. I don't think we have a good enough glycogen freezing process. Like how
Really.
like when you freeze someone, you're gonna break all the structure of all the cells. Like
But in 2056, they might get around that, right?
no, but once the cells are destroyed, you can't
No,
bring
but
them
just
back.
say, well, they've got perfect
It's
transfer,
more
like they
about the
can
freeze. It's
record
more
your
about the
dreams.
freezing process. That
Yeah, I know, but okay, but like, let's say we're getting to the point where we can record people's thoughts a bit, in a
yeah,
way,
but
right?
cells are cellular, and your brain has cells, and if
Yeah, yeah,
everything one of them is
but you wouldn't be made
busted,
out of cells. You'd be
frozen.
made out of silicon, and you'd be in a fucking.
But what are you getting the information out of? Busted cells. You got to get
Well,
the
okay, if
information out
you're
of
dead,
something.
okay, at the moment, let's just say it's 2060, right?
We didn't have a good enough freezing process to
No, no,
freeze
but like,
cells
forget
so they don't
forget the
bust.
dead people version. Just say you're alive, and you want
Yeah.
to back up. You want to back up your brain in case you die.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
And then you go, why am I in this form when everybody's in the fucking party world of the virtual reality imagination network? Why
Yeah.
would I want to be out here where I've got to walk around finding food, eating it with my hands and my mouth, and finding ways to give myself serotonin rises when I could just go in there and just set the serotonin or dopamine or whatever,
And
or
keep the
any
body
other thing.
healthy.
Have
Sure.
16 arms instead of just two, fly, whatever you want to do.
Sure.
Be
Sure.
immortal. What would you
Yeah,
choose?
I'd do. Well, is this like a choice of like the rest of your life, or can you just do this on the weekends? Because I'd fucking do it on the weekends.
Okay, if it was weekends only, I'd say yes. If it
Well,
was
just whenever you
forever,
can afford
all
it.
or nothing.
It's
Okay,
going to
no.
be just whenever you.
No,
How
but
about
what if
it's
it's all
just whenever you can afford it?
what if it's all or nothing? You can't
Oh,
be human anymore. No more body,
oh man,
just
it'll all
lines of
be the
code.
family, man. I'm a married man, mate. If my wife's not coming, then I'm not going.
But you can get 10 of her.
There's only one here, so that's it.
If
Yeah.
she died and then you were by yourself, would you consider it?
Oh fuck! I've got no idea.
And what if she said, I want to do it, I'm doing it? Would you do it?
If it was an option and we had to do it together, I'd probably do something like that, sure, because I got sore bones. Mm.
You don't want any sort of medical treatment instead?
There is none.
All right, I feel like an alien. I just don't understand life. It just seems like a whole bunch of
But no one
chores,
does. No
a
one does.
routine at best.
Yeah, but that's what it is, and we're lucky we're here and not fucking 500 or 1,000. Oh, there's a whole lot of other eras, but we're in the easiest one
Yeah, but on this planet.
on this planet. Yeah, sure, I don't know. Sure, if there's ones on other planets, yeah, it makes sense.
I just feel like the discussion, like my experience of humanity now, because I don't really get out and socialize very much, is just what people type on the internet. And even
Yeah,
when I was conversing with people in general everyday life, they weren't concentrating on the interesting stuff,
yeah,
fixing
yeah,
the world's
yeah.
problems or maximizing happiness. Like, let's go skydiving today. No, what would we do that for? You know, just boring stuff instead. Like, I've got to get
Yeah,
up at 8:30 in the morning and go to work, right? That kind of thing. It sucks. And you can choose whatever you want to do with your life.
yeah. I don't know, but if I don't know, at the age I'm at, if I look back, I've done all
You're
of
not
those
old.
things. No,
You're
but if
30.
no, no, okay, whatever about. I don't know. I didn't say I was old. I said at my age,
Mm.
if I look back, I've done all those things.
Okay, but what are you
What have
foreseeing
I
in the
not
future?
done? What have I
You
not
haven't had a
done?
kid. You haven't had a kid, I
Well,
guess.
I haven't had a kid. That's all the cards.
Is that the next big? Is that would you consider that to be the next big adventure?
Sure, but I don't know. But like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna have a kid, but like, what have I not done? You know, like in terms of what you were saying,
I don't know.
I
Been
jumped
in a
out of
war?
planes.
You haven't been a soldier in a war?
No, but what is that part of the? Was that on my
You could
list?
go and fight fires. But I'm
I
looking at these
could,
fires on the
but I
TV and
don't
they're
like being hot.
catastrophic.
I
Yeah.
like being cold.
Yeah. All right. We'll get back
I
to
would
this
be like
conversation forever.
I wouldn't want to be in a suit getting hot and going towards heat. Like that would be that's one of my worst nightmares actually. I'm a cold climate person. Once it goes over 32 degrees, I don't like it.
And these other questions about sacrificing yourself for a cause that nobody cares about next week. People said he was a hero, give him a medal
Yeah.
posthumously,
Ding,
and now
yeah.
nobody cares
Ding,
about that
ding.
issue anymore.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, but you got to
But
give
that
him
guy died for nothing then.
the respect for the family, whatever, you know. No, he didn't
They're
die for
going to die of
nothing.
old age anyway. He might as well
Yeah.
have had a good life sitting back and watching TV
Yeah.
or
I
whatever
don't
else
know.
life doing chores.
Oregon life's pretty precious. But like it dies every day. So yeah, it is. It's a little bit wish wash. Yeah, yeah, here, yeah, whatever. But yeah,
But see, every quest we've got, like we're talking about, oh, the prime minister wasn't here when the bushfires kicked in. We haven't got technology for the bushfires. Let's try to solve it. I could spend my whole life trying to solve bushfires. I won't get anywhere. But then some day in the future, someone's
yeah,
going to go,
but
boom, here's a cure for
technology comes out of
bushfires.
necessity, man. Like, look at the wars. That's when shit goes down. That's what I was trying to say before.
I know, but
The
that's what
fucking
I'm trying to
war's
say
on.
is it
Fucking
doesn't
bring
matter
out the
what we do in our
technology.
lives.
Oh
It
man,
doesn't matter what we do.
it needs Scott fucking Morrison there in the fucking. I don't care if he sits on a dildo in the middle of fucking Parliament House, and right, and then there's firefighters around him going, "Hey, look, here's a bit of technology. Why don't we try this?" And he goes, "Yeah, let's try that one. How about that?"
Yeah. But so
You know,
nothing matters here.
fucking. But you know, it couldn't happen
Nothing
because he
matters.
wasn't fucking here.
Nothing
Well, it does
actually
matter.
matters.
We were talking about the drones, mate, and I didn't see any drones out there trying to fight the fucking fire.
No, that's right. They
All
haven't
I
done anything.
saw were, there was a couple of people who fell off the road and died.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It
Right.
seems so primitive. But
Don't worry about
even
that.
though it's primitive now and we might go forward with technology or we might blow ourselves up or the robots might take over and kill us all or put us into a little briefcase and, take our brains and put them into circuit boards, none of it actually matters. This planet doesn't matter. This solar system doesn't matter.
Mhm.
Nothing actually fucking matters, does it?
Uh,
We're going to die.
of
You're going to be dead. Nobody will remember you. All the photos that people are trying to, protect and
course,
keep
no
all
one's going
the
to remember you. Yeah, I know.
valuables from their grandparents and stuff. The vault.
Yeah.
There's no vault system. People aren't keeping like 400-year-old artifacts from the. Every time somebody dies and they got to clear out the house, like who's ever going to need this anymore? Chuck it, right? Here's the diary pile of diaries that this person is. Anyone
That's
ever
what
going to
there's.
read it?
That's what the
No.
only reason there's treasure maps is because of exactly what you're talking about. As if there'd be any such thing as a fucking treasure map
I
if
feel like
any cunt
that's the
wanted to
one
keep
good
their
thing you can
treasure.
do in life. The one good thing you can do in life is create a treasure map and bury treasure.
Yeah, but the
So,
people
so
who made
somebody
the
else can have
treasure
a good
maps
adventure in their
weren't.
life.
No, they didn't want anyone else to have it. It was
No,
fucking
I
for them.
know. No, but even if you made a house full of secret doors and all that sort of shit, so that some kids one day could stumble across your house and find the secret thing and gives clues to blah
Get
blah
trapped
blah.
in there and die from starvation
Some
from
of
not
them will
able to
die, of
get out your
course.
trapdoor.
But you've given them something to live for in this boring, meaningless existence of
Live and let
meaningless chores.
die.
It's just boring and fucking nobody does anything that's meaningful. And if it is meaningful, it's just a story that's irrelevant for today's times. Yeah, sure, the guy saved the golden goat's fleece from the emperor. Well
No,
done.
okay,
100,000
all
years
right.
ago.
You know what, dude? I I hate those shitty fucking religious stories. They're fucking
No,
crap.
not religion. I'm just talking about anything.
When my wife tells me a story about what she did yesterday, I listen and I enjoy it.
Yeah, but
How about
you
that?
won't remember it, and you're going to die, and she's going to die, and nobody will remember it. So it doesn't even matter that it even happened.
It matters to me now
Yeah,
and
you're
for the
going to be
next
dead.
few months or few years.
Yeah, you're all going to be dead. We're all dying.
Yeah,
It's dead. Death,
yeah.
death, death.
I can't wait
If,
for it.
even if there was immortality, it's hard to even think about why anything matters at all, except for our entertainment, which is serotonin and dopamine and stuff, which we could just artificially just turn it up. There's a woman with an implant who just
We're just a
suffered
shitty
absolute.
life form that's been given the opportunity to view the universe from our own perspective.
Well,
Like,
why didn't they give us a
fucking,
better perspective so we can fly between different solar systems and stuff? It seems like a bit of a fucking cage and
maybe that's the
prison.
next step. It's pretty fucking good, man, compared to every single other animal on the world that we know of. Maybe the
Yeah,
invisible
I
ones or
I
something. I don't know.
agree. Everything's just running for its life or doing chores.
Yeah,
That's all it is.
we do chores. We get paid for it, and
The
then we
only
get
thing you'd want
enjoyment
is if
chores.
there was an overseer creator, some kid with a universe creation set under his bed that he forgot about, just gathering dust. But if he does open it up and go, oh, look, there's that one planet that I made that time, which I half finished, right? Then there are some monkeys. Oh, the monkeys are winning, right? They've built these little
We're the
fucking.
monkeys, yeah.
Yeah, we're the monkeys. And
Yeah.
we've made these little fucking buildings and stuff. And, they haven't gone to space. Oh, they went to the moon. Oh, no. Back under the bed.
No,
Go
but the
back
thing is,
flying through
if
his
they
slug
saw
world.
us, like, this is the how's this for a fucking flip out? So if aliens viewed us through their own telescopes, like today, and they were 500 light years away, they would only see us from 500 years ago. So they would only see like a shitty bunch of people running around like with no
There's no
technology,
way.
no
There's no
radios,
way
no
to.
nothing.
That's right. There's no way to make use of the universe with light technology. It's useless. There has to be another way
No, light,
with
even though light is the
quantum
fastest thing that we
entanglement.
know of.
No, quantum entanglement's faster. It's instant.
Oh, okay. Yeah, right. Like you mean like moving atoms
You,
from here to
like
there.
the matter and antimatter pair
Yeah,
will do the opposite spin no matter
yeah,
where in the universe they're located according to current physics
yeah.
understanding of quantum physics.
Yeah,
So
but that just sounds
that's how.
ridiculous.
Well, that's the key to teleportation. Well, the whole thing's ridiculous. The universe, the way we
Yeah, but you're
conceive it, is
talking
wrong.
teleportation and on a unicellular level, like as if nothing multicellular will ever teleport
No, it will.
in this manner.
Every everything that's multicellular is made of cells. Everything is made out of those tiny little
But
quanta.
your quantum entanglement premise is based on single cells moving, not
Yeah, but
multi-cell.
like think of a dot on a printed page, right? That's
Yeah,
one particle, right?
yeah,
But a bunch of them make an image. So if you can be scanned, then send that data as antimatter into a quantum entanglement printer, whatever,
yeah.
and then
That's above my pay
you'll
grade, mate.
just bloody appear somewhere else. You don't have to
Yeah.
wait for the speed of light, which is fucking slow. It takes
But
500 years.
how do you dictate where it's going to go? Like, what the fuck?
I
Like,
don't know.
you're
I didn't
mapping
build it.
this.
The
Who's
slug
mapping?
the slug people built it. I didn't. Anyway, this is a conversation we have to continue in the future because
Yeah,
obviously the
I'm
world
out.
is meaningless.
I
And you're not
am
even on my
going to
screen.
bed.
I haven't even seen your face on the screen for ages.
Oh, my fucking head's here. Here it is.
Is there any way for you to make your head appear? All right. I'll speak to you later. Good night. Have fun at work. Having a
I
meaningless
will.
life.
I love it. Good night.
Good night.